Hello, everyone. Welcome to TASSTA's webinar. Again, it's still summertime, and I hope you all are safe around the globe, wherever you are, and also your families and your friends are safe. And yeah, the journey continues on a different way. And yeah, I hope that we can provide you during yeah this time and during our webinar some good information and yeah, some at least 15 minutes different thinking and ideas and giving you some brainstorming. So this is the next series of our seminars. This one is a little bit different than what we are doing usually because it's about security. What means security? You know, many people are asking us each time, okay, how we organize ourselves with security and so on. And it's a wide field, and the thing is that you know, the opinions are different, and the things are, you know, can be understood like this and like that. And the question is always, where is the border even of security for a company like TASSTA, and yeah, and where we continue to do something, maybe what is in our power to change and what is not anymore in our responsibility. So I just wanted to start and tell you a little bit, okay, what is our view of that and what we can do, and what is already also implemented. That if, let's say, you have any questions, many things, we can definitely support you and give you more details. But during the webinar, I want to give you an overview what we are doing. So let's start. The thing is that, okay, what means security? Security is like that everyone can authentify himself. That means in TASSTA, we have your username and password and the port and server and so on. But with that one, we can say every person is individual. So we are not supporting, let's say, any username what can be doubled on the same server. That means everybody needs to be unique and need to have his own password. Additionally, what we have implemented is that each user has also the option to, you know, to be connected over the IMEI number of the device. Means very concrete that with that one, we are avoiding that a user is using multiple devices or can be used on multiple devices. That gives, again, another stage of security, because usually, if even in a worst case that somebody is stealing your password and username and trying to use it on a third device, that's not going to be possible, because then the person need also to know your IMEI number. What else I can say is that what is also we implemented is that you can also individually change your password. That gives another point of security. Why? Is because sometimes, for example, the admin and the T commander, how we call it in TASSTA, might be a third-party company, or might be a person which doesn't belong 100% to the organization and so on. In that cases, the user can individually change his password, that even for the administrator, the user is, let's say, hidden and so on. Good. What we did lately, and it was okay, it was a requirement for security, but also the lead came even over the over FirstNet Insight, is that we optimized and improved the password policy. First, I want to tell you, okay, how it comes that passwords are getting basically, yeah, that somebody's using your password, is because the password is simply weak. Let's say you call it, I don't know, your name or your family name with 123 or yeah, 1234 or whatever, or your daughter's name or what, yeah, you know, it can be many things. And that is something what we call weak password, or even simple password. And the other point is that people are not changing regularly the passwords. For that reason, there's basically there is a government, there are rules which are proposed by the government agencies, for example, even FBI or other organizations for secret agencies, that they propose a few rules how you should handle your password. That can be, first is the length of your passport. The length of your passport should be at least 8 digits, okay? And you should have lower and uppercase, symbols and special characters, and not predicted word, again, like what I mentioned to you, like test 1, 2, 3 or whatever. And with that one, this is what we implemented right now, and to make sure that again we raise the password security in our TASSTA system for each user. So if you wonder why sometimes you use some password and it is not working, it's because simply you are not following the password policies. So if you see there is a warning about the password policy, please just follow them and follow the instructions, and that you have this 8 the length of the password, that is 8 signs at least, and you have symbols and so on. I just can tell you that by using any symbol, it is making the for anybody who try to to reproduce your password, it might take years longer, because usually the most programs to reproduce passwords and let's say creating username and password and so on, they are not using symbols. So most of them, they are using really letters and numbers. So if you use symbols, you can already make sure that it might take a few years longer to find your password, even if somebody's trying. And the other thing is, what we implemented is that, okay, what is happening if somebody is trying and using your and it is fault password? We have now a policy inside that after 6 times wrong password, you need to be in contact with your admin, with your T commander, to reset your account, to re-get a new password, because we don't expect that somebody is making 6 times a wrong password. And again, additional to fulfill this requirement from the government authorities recommendation for security, we also made by default that after 90 days you have to change your password. If you don't do it, it is forcing you to do it, the system automatically, but the requirement is like, okay, if you want to follow these policies, that would be perfect. If not, it is only by default inside, but you can also say, you know what, we are using maybe devices which has no screen, or they have very small screen, which makes it very complicated to change the password and so on. And simply you can go to the next stage. You say, I don't need that policy for my organization. The same like the password policies, correct? So it's basically also possible to not following the password policies if you don't require that feature. Yeah. So as usual, with many things what we do in TASSTA, we give you always an option that you can choose. You have your free choice to use it or not, and depends to the situation where you are. The next point is how we enforce secure communication. We are usually using the latest SSL, which is called now a TSL. We implemented TLS 1.2. The latest version is 1.3, but the issue is that 1.3 is still not supported by all devices, even, or by many devices. So for that reason, we try to keep the balance here. And what happened recently is also that we had the issue that even, yes, we have many users, they use older devices or with older Android versions, and for them, we created that environment that you can go into the application, and let me see, where is it? You can see it in the background. Let me just log out first, and I go to the setting, and here you can see you have the option TLS 1.2, and you can change to TLS 1.0. It is, it is basically to reduce the security of your system, because TLS 1.0 had all this, leaks and so on, which were a few years ago heavily in the news. But I'm just saying that we are giving you an option to go lower if you have still devices which are following TLS 1.0 and are not supporting TLS 1.2. Good. So this is something what I wanted to show you first. So on the next part is that all signalings and data which are going between the client and the server are encrypted. So we have all that implemented what is required, and additionally we have even 2 more options that over the server, besides end-to-end encryption, what is automatically happening, you have also the option on the server side that you can force TCP. That means beside the UDP communication, which is let's say common sense how to do it, it is also possible to use even TCP to raise, again, 1 level higher the encryption or the security communication, or secure more your communication. And another thing is that we implemented here in our application end-to-end, right? End-to-end additional end-to-end key support means you can go to your to your end-to-end environment, and here you can simply enable it, and here you can create a key, whatever you want to create, press OK, and as soon as I am now pressing my PTT button, nobody can hear it besides the person who is, let's say, has the key. How can I share the key? I simply go to the user. Let's say I go to Andreas, and I can hear, wait, no, he's not online, so for that reason I cannot share with him. But you go to the user simply, and you share the key with him. So quite simple. And with that one, you can make sure that even beside the system encryption and so on, you have even an extreme, you have your own private encrypted call. That means whoever has not that key cannot listen to you. It is also interesting because, especially when we are talking later on about the recording, is that even the T recorder, right? So if the T recorder is recording it and somebody want to listen to that on the recorder environment or in the database, needs your key which you typed inside. So that is actually quite nice feature to, again, raise the barrier for your security. How the system works is, I mean, most of you, I believe, they know it. We have our T commander, which is the administrator, and what is also important is that we have, beside the security things, you have also the possibility to change many features and rights in the T commander. That means first, the administrator is only an authorized person who has access to that T commander, who can change these things, and it can add and reduce the features. That means if the user should not see GPS, if the user should not do individual calls, if the user should not be in many channels. So everything can be configured according to a profile, to a user, and you can add and reduce simply all the rights and so on. And why is it also interesting is that compared to another system, here in TASSTA, you have an on-premise or in cloud solution, which is your environment. That means nobody else on Earth has access to your environment. And for that, it is very important that, yes, the data stays with you, and whatever you are communicating, you are sharing in voice, video, or even data, whatever files you are exchanging, everything stays in your environment. And continuing to that, again, this is ACL. That means in the administration environment, like T Commander, you have the possibility to create teams. And with these teams, you have the possibility to make clear rules. That means for channels, who is allowed to enter, who is not allowed to enter, and who is allowed to listen, who is allowed to talk, and so on. So these features you can do. And the nice thing is also what we created now is that you have also time as a factor inside. That means very concrete that if you say, for instance, there are organizations which are working, teams which are working only in the morning shift, and none of them should enter the system in the evening shift. So you just make a rule for that team, which is in the morning, that the defined time for being allowed to listen any voice or to communicate anything can be from 8 to 5, whatever, in the afternoon, and then the rest of the guys afterwards. That means if a user, if that from that team is coming in the morning and starting to communicate, is usually in the morning, yes, and working in the morning, but 5 minutes after 5 p.m. he's still not offline, but already he cannot hear anything, he cannot listen anything, and he can also not communicate. So that gives you again another, let's say, I would say security, how you can distribute the communication and who should receive which information, right? Because that is also the next part, what is very, very important, that you want to know who, if you are communicating with this device, right? I mean, who is receiving that information and when? So you don't want to have especially in any case, you want to know later on, okay, what is happening here? And with that point, I made a bridge to our T recorder. During all the activity in a T recorder, so everything is, it's allowing you monitoring of the system. That means you can see all the activities, which user logged out, which user logged in, when, and even which channels they went, and so on. And from that, you can even create a profile, right? You can create a profile, or you can make an audit later on, so that you can just check, let's say, from the management or from the managing of the system. Okay, this user, for example, was always in West and then he changed to East. Why did that happen yesterday? Because usually he should be in West all the time. So it gives you again another, let's say, it's not anymore about only the secure communication between server and client and that everything is encrypted. It gives you also, as a management or administrator, the tools to be able to follow up that everything is running organized in your organization. And the T recorder as well is keeping everything recorded. That means you have the recording for a very long period, basically as you want, because you can make always backups. So you can say, okay, every 3 months, every 6 months, I take a backup. So I keep it in my data center, that as soon as something happens, you can always go back and reproduce the situation, listen to the information, that nothing is lost. So it is keeping everything, for you, available as much as you like. And the other thing is that, okay, besides that is also, that only that in the data centers, right? So you have that all this information, like your server and also your recordings are in data centers. That means in that regards, also there are like VPNs and APNs access with the data centers. They provide you additional part of security. And what is also can be considered definitely is also the firewalls, right? I mean, we should not forget that in the IP system is our firewalls. So we have dedicated ports which need to be open. That means in that one, our communication. So this is how the users are reaching the server, and the other ones are totally blocked. And in that regard, it is also possible to have, let's say, even blocking MAC or IPs from some parts of the world, just to protect your system additionally from any, let's say, external attack. What else we are doing and providing to you is that, as TASSTA, we are permanently developing and we are improving our system, not only with features, also with security things and optimizations in the user behavior. you can imagine that, yeah, as far as that is happening, your system is always the state of the art. That means basically, yeah, that during that regularly software upgrades and updates, we use also static code analyzers. So this software and these tools are usually done to give us, as a, let's say, I would say, as a that we receive also from a third party, which is really specialized only in security. So we use, for example, Fortify, or our partners are using F-Secure, that we are watching the application, the server, and everything. So we get regularly, yeah, monthly reports if we have any weakness in the system, that we can immediately yeah, register and improve for the next developments. And as far as we are doing regular upgrades, so we can make sure that, yes, there might be a very, very short period of time frame that somebody can use that hole or whatever, but we can close it as soon as we use this kind of tools for security to yeah, to see immediately what is happening there. Yeah, this is basically the main things what I wanted to share with you. Again, yeah, this came basically from the idea that yeah, how we organize ourselves from the authentication, and how we organize ourselves in the communication between the server and the users, and which features are the data centers and so on are providing you to improve that. And also that, yes, how we are controlling it, right? I mean, me or anybody could say, okay, no, in our company could say, yeah, TASSTA is secure, but what is it worth? Because sure, we have only our own eyes, but as far as we are using external solutions, we can always say, yes, we follow some security standards. We are letting third parties check our software, that we can have, you know, more eyes, and we can improve it, everything for the best for you. But all that is only also possible because I just want to give you a few words about our organization. We as TASSTA, we developed everything from A to Z by ourselves. That means when we are communicating about our push-to-talk solution, mission critical push-to-talk solution, when we are talking about push to video, we are communicating about data, messages, indoor localization, GPS, task management. Everything is done by our team, by our development team, and checked by our own QA and supported by our own service. For that reason, we can say we have everything under control, and we know what is exactly happening. And if something is wrong, we can change it immediately. So we are never dependent on any third-party software that I need maybe to we need maybe to say, or I need to communicate to you, that to say, okay, you know what, okay, that part you need to wait because it takes us 2 months because it's not under our own control. So that is one thing I wanted to inform you. The other thing is that we as TASSTA, we are working only with our own stuff. So we have no third-party employees in our company. That means everybody is hired by TASSTA, everybody is working with us, and we are not accepting these conditions that any third party can enter our environment, because again, we want to be reliable. We want to make sure that whatever we promise you, we have it under control, and we can provide you the right support. And the other thing is also that all these points are giving you the idea that are guaranteeing you, you know, that I can guarantee you, we can guarantee you as TASSTA, that we provide you the latest secure solution without any exceptions, right? And yeah, so this is it what I wanted to share with you, that because the security things are very, very important nowadays, and it is everywhere, that especially during COVID-19, the things are that many things are online, so everything is going in IP and so on, and for that reason it is important to have secure servers, secure communication. Everything needs to be done. And as you know anyway, we are following the 3GPP standard, so We were one of the few companies globally which passed all plug tests so far, and we are going to the 5th plug test in September, which is happening in online. So we are not leaving that route, that we are a mission critical solution provider for professional users, and for that reason also we are partnering now with Samsung for Germany as an exclusive partner for their Xcover Field Pro, which, as you can see, has a PDT button, an emergency button, which is fulfilling also internally many requirements of the 3GPP standard. And yeah, we are very proud to be part and to be trusted by Samsung also. And yeah, this was basically all what I wanted to share with you. So stay safe, enjoy the summer, and yeah, don't travel too heavily, and looking forward to see you soon during the next webinars. Take care. Bye bye.